Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of College Hockey Talk. I am joined here today with St. Cloud State freshman Mackenzie Bourgerie. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Mackenzie, and how's everything going?
Good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on. And I want to start talking about last weekend's series you had against Bemidji State. You split that series, winning the first one in overtime. What did you take away from that series, both positive and negatively?
Yeah. So one thing that I took away was just like getting shots on net always is a thing that we can always improve on. And we took that into the second game. And unfortunately we did not come out on the top, but yeah, it's just that being aggressive, playing the body more than anything. But,
Yeah, and one thing I noticed from last weekend's series was just how close both of your teams were, both offensively and defensively as well. What was the difference between Thursday night's overtime and Friday night's overtime you noticed personally?
oh boy. Well, Friday night we were really I think we had the more of the momentum going into it. And unfortunately, on Friday, they got all the bounces and we didn't. So that was, I don't know, we were ready for both, but just bounces don't go our way all the time. And unfortunately, that was one of those times.
Yeah, and your team is currently 2-4 this year. What do you think needs the most improvement to your team's game? Because you guys look very good at times this year, and you've obviously succeeded expectations so far.
Yeah, just getting the puck in the net. We're doing all the little things. We just need to get our shots through and on net, which is something we've really been working on in practice and stuff like that. But yeah, just getting goals, finishing.
And what's been the biggest adjustment you've had to make to your games starting playing college hockey for your first 6 games so far?
The change of pace from high school to college is different. I mean, it's obvious, but yeah, I feel like that's the biggest adjustment I've had to make.
And how have you adjusted to the mental side of the game, making quicker decisions with the puck? Because that's obviously another adjustment that a lot of freshmen have to make. And what's been your key to make that adjustment so far?
Yeah, I'm still working on that. I'm kind of panicked occasionally, which I'm trying to just calm myself down and find the open player or the open ice. And then just one thing we've really been working on in practice is looking before we get the puck. And I think that's really helped me, is knowing what I'm going to do before I even get the puck. But yeah.
Yeah, and what's your college hockey experience been like so far, and how do you compare it to high school?
Yeah, I love it. It's so fun playing with top players from all over the world, even getting to know other people's cultures, which I don't know, it's just amazing. And obviously in high school you don't get that opportunity really.
Yeah, and you got your first goal against Minnesota State a few weekends ago. How did it feel to get that goal, and who did you call first after?
It was amazing. Just first collegiate goal is feeling like no other. I called my parents. My dad said my mom started to tear up when she saw it, but yeah, it was unbelievable.
So what's your plan? What are you going to do with the puck after you received it after the game?
Right now it's currently sitting in my dorm room, right in front of my TV. So every time I'm watching Netflix, I look at it and it just brings a smile to my face.
That's awesome. Now, the second half of the WCHA schedule was released a few days ago. What's your thoughts on that schedule, and who are you the most excited to play in that schedule? Because I know there's some teams that you haven't played yet in those slated games.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play the U and Wisconsin because you always hear about them and how good they are, and I think our team will do really well this year against them.
Yeah, and
And
how are you going to try to prepare to upset some of those teams? Because going in, a lot of people won't give you guys potentially enough credit than you deserve going into a
yeah,
team like Minnesota, who's obviously one of the best teams in the country.
yeah, we just have to mentally prepare more than anything. I think going in with the mindset that we can actually play with them and we can beat them. I think that'll help us big time.
Now, you obviously haven't played in front of fans yet. Has that been an adjustment for yourself? And what has it been like not playing in front of a big crowd?
Yeah, it's really weird. Every game I like to look up and see my parents watching, and not being able to do that is just kind of I don't know, kind of sad almost. And I know they're watching from home, but it's just different that they're not there in person.
Yeah, and do they pump in crowd noise at the stadium? Because I know they sometimes do that on the TV channels, but I was just curious, as a player, do they do that in the stadium?
Yes, Bemidji I know played it the whole game, and I think they're the only ones that have done it so far that we've played at. But after like good plays or like goals, then they'll play noises no matter where we are.
Awesome, awesome. Now, I want to ask you, how does your freshman class look like so far, and how have you guys tried to adapt to the new team, especially being in a scenario where no one's ever experienced before, being in a global pandemic?
Yeah, I love my freshman class. I love every single one of them. We all bring something different to the table that just improves the team overall. Um, we're lucky enough where, yes, unfortunately, this is not how we wanted to go into college, but we have upperclassmen that took us in and are really taking care of us and helping us through it. And we just always know that they're going to be there for us and we're going to be there for them. So it's just really good there.
Now, what's it been like to play under Coach McDonald, and what have you learned under him so far?
Yeah, I love Coach McDonald. He knows how to like talk to the players and not in a way that is just screaming. He's a calm person, which I think helps our team overall. So we're not all like not scared of him, but like you know what I'm trying to say. I don't
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned before how the upperclassmen have helped you so far, but which player in particular has been very helpful for your transition into college hockey, not just on the ice, but off the ice as well?
Um, well, for starters, Allison Green and Emma Gentry, we both came, or all three of us came in being like, I don't know, they were the first two I really got to know, and I know they're both freshmen too. Um, we're just going through it together, and all the freshmen really. And then for the upperclassmen, Courtney Hall was the first one really to reach out to me and all the other freshmen, and just like, if we need anything, Kenna Westlow, another Minnesotan, also really took us in. Yeah.
That's good to hear. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit. How was your quarantine and off season, and what did you do over that summer to prepare for this season?
Yeah, so our training staff, they sent us out workouts to do, and I had weights here at my house, so was fortunate to use some of those, but they also sent out some body weights that we would do. I focused a lot on sprinting to kind of translate over to quick starts, which I think is something any hockey player could have always work on, especially me. But yeah,
Was an adjustment this off-season training for the upcoming season than compared to other off seasons? Because I
yeah,
know a lot of gyms weren't open. It was hard to find ice time in the rinks, especially here in Massachusetts, where I'm from. So, was that an adjustment for yourself?
yeah, for sure. I'm used to skating 5 times a week, and for 3 months there I couldn't skate at all, so it was just tough. But I think that kind of helped on getting off ice stuff more, which is something I hadn't really focused as much as I think I should have. But last summer, during spring summer like off season, I really got time to focus on that and just work on myself there, which I think is really big part of the game.
Yeah, and how was your graduation? I know that a lot of freshmen didn't get to experience the normal graduation that many of you guys expected, but did you still get a chance to have like a normal ceremony or socially distance in that matter?
Yeah, so what my school did is we had like a drive-through kind of when we picked up our gowns, we walked, we got our diploma, and then on the day of that we were actually supposed to graduate, they had like a live stream kind of thing, and they played it, and everyone watched on their TVs, which was really cool with what they did.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, I want to talk about the beginning of your hockey career. You're obviously from St. Michael, Minnesota. I'll talk about growing up there and how did you fall in love with hockey?
Yeah, so St. Michael is well, I won't call it a small town, but it's not like a huge town. But my older brother played hockey, and when he first started, I wanted to be just like him. So I got out and skated with my dad and him. And ever since then, like I just wanted to be like him, took his number, everything, followed in his footsteps.
And did you have a favorite particular player growing up that you try to translate to your game even today?
Yeah, Marion Gabrick was my favorite person growing up. I always looked up to him, thought he was the greatest hockey player.
Now, before St. Cloud State, you played for your high school in Northright County. Talk about that experience and what does it mean to you today?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I love that team. I love that the coaches, everything. I don't know. It's just like that community, this community growing up and playing for them, being able to represent my hometown for them. It was amazing.
Now, how did playing for Northright help prepare you for college hockey?
Yeah, this last season for sure helped because we changed conferences. So we played like the Edinas, the Eden Prairies, the Minnetonkas, and a lot of players from those teams go on to play Division One hockey. So just being able to play against them and playing along with some of them on my own team, it really helped.
Yeah, in your 4-year career with Northright County, you ended up standing alone as the program's all-time scoring and assist leader. Talk about your hockey development in high school and what did you do each of those off seasons to improve?
Yeah, during off season, I played for the OS or the Junior Whitecaps. That really helped me just like focusing on skills and scoring and like all the little things. And then along with that, being able to bring it into game situation and playing with other players and then carrying that over to Northright County, being able to help them get better too with taking my knowledge from what I learned on the off season and bringing it to them really helped us.
Now, as a high school senior, you were named semifinalist for a Minnesota Miss Hockey. What does that honor mean to you? And to people that don't know that award, what is that award?
Yeah, so that award is given to, I don't want to say like the top players, but like I don't really know. I don't know how to explain it really without but it's an honor, obviously, like no other. Being able to represent my hometown and everyone that's helped me along the way is amazing.
Now, I'm not from Minnesota, so talk to me about the Minnesota high school hockey scene and being a player in that atmosphere because just watching some of the clips on YouTube, it's pretty cool how the whole setup happens, especially during the state tournament.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best leagues to play in. We always have fans, we always have people cheering us on, and the state tournament is unbelievable. Unfortunately, I never got to play in it, but I would go and watch every year, and just seeing like the excitement on all the girls and boys' faces at their tournament is just amazing, and seeing the crowds, the atmosphere is like no other.
Now, is it weird talking to other people who aren't from Minnesota just about how big the high school hockey scene is there? And do you feel special or jealous or feel bad for them in a way that you got to be a part of that setting?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, I would always do like the high performance, the USA camps, and when we'd get to like the national camp, like people from out east wouldn't know what it was like to play in front of that many people and like just like the crowds, and they were just like I'm amazed by it. I'm
Now,
just lucky enough to be able to experience that.
yeah, definitely. Now, what was your favorite memory you've ever had at Northright County?
My junior year, we went up and played Roseau High School team, and that was the semi semifinals for going to state, and it was the first time in years that we had beat them, and it was in their home barn, and it was amazing. The feeling afterwards was amazing.
Now, you were talking about this just a few minutes ago, but you got to represent your country in the U18 women's hockey camp. Talk about getting the chance to represent the U.S. and play the best competition in the world. And what did you take away from those camps?
Yeah, just the speed, the pace, everything, the quicker decisions, which I think really helped going into college too, is just the pace of the game and playing with the best of the best is amazing.
Now, talk about your recruitment process for a little bit. What was that like for you, and why did you choose St. Cloud State at the end of the day?
Yeah, so I talked to a few schools, I toured some, but ultimately it came down to what really mattered to me. And playing in the WCHA, the best league there is in college hockey, was one thing that really helped. I wanted to stay close to home so like my family could come visit and watch, but unfortunately they can't do it this year. But yeah, the coaching staff and the campus, it just feels like home.
Yeah, and how have you balanced both academics and hockey in your first year? Because I know it's a little bit different. I know a lot of classes are online. What does that look like for you just on the academic side, and how have you tried to balance it with hockey as well?
Yeah, I'm still learning how to fully adjust to it, but we have great people to help us. We have this thing called the greenhouse, which is for all the athletes there, and they're always there to help us. And our coaching staff will do anything that we ask them if we need help with anything. We have tutors we can go to. Yeah, all the staff are really great there.
Now, talk about the WCHA. What's it like to play in that league? It's obviously one of the best women's college hockey leagues. What's it like to be a player and playing that great competition every night because there's no night off, especially in that league?
Yeah, although we haven't played half the teams in it, it's still like just going in and you know that it's going to be a good game no matter who you're playing, and you're going to have to give it your all and hope, not even hope, but just like believe that you can do it and play with them.
Yeah, we're now in the non-hockey segment of the podcast. And my first question to you was, what music do you like to listen to before a game, and which road arena so far has had the best warm-up night playlist?
Yeah, depends on the day. Sometimes I like to listen to country. Sometimes I like to listen to rap. It all depends on, I don't even know what I'm feeling that day. Um, I liked Bemidji's playlist, except for their walkout song. It reminded me of walking into a circus, but other than that, their mix was really good.
Yeah, and who's your go-to country artist or rap artist, even?
I'm a big Luke Combs fan.
Nice, nice. I've never really listened to any of his music, but
Really
everyone says he's very good. I like Morgan Wallen. That's kind of my country guy.
good. He's probably my second one.
Now, if you could have lunch with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Well, that's a good one. I don't even know. Probably my grandpa, honestly. He is
Nice.
so knowledgeable. Just sit down and talk to him about everything.
That's
Talk
a
your
good
ear
answer.
off.
Yeah, no, I'll probably a hockey player, so probably like Alex Ovechkin because he's
Yeah,
kind of entertaining, but he's also really knowledgeable in hockey. And just to hear his
yeah,
experience
for
on
sure.
and off the ice, it would be pretty cool for me. Now, my next non-hockey question for you is, what's your favorite outdoor activity? I know Minnesota, there's lakes, there's fun stuff to do in the summer. What's your go-to outdoor activity?
Yeah, so one of my good friends, Sydney Langseth, over at Mankato, every 4th of July, I go up to her cabin, and I love being out on the lake with her and her family, and just the feeling of just being in the sun and relaxing is, I love that. But I also love to run, so going out and being able to run during the summer, I really like doing that.
Yeah, we had Sydney on the podcast, and she was mentioning about the cabin as well. For me, I do like the water, so probably like rowing. I think that I want to try it this summer, so like kayaking and stuff like that. So hopefully, when the weather gets nicer, I can start doing that.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah, I think it's a good workout too because it works out like almost half your body, which is something that so it's fun and it's good exercise as well.
Mhm.
Now, another non-hockey question I have for yourself is, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh, um, I have to think about that one. Hmm, I don't like slow walkers in front of me, or loud chewers. Just kind of a weird one, but yeah, those two are probably big ones.
Slow walkers are very annoying, especially in the city where you're trying to get
Mhm.
somewhere and they just aren't paying attention. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, and slow drivers with that too. Like if you're trying to get somewhere and they're going 10 under in the fast lane.
Yeah. It's either
Yeah,
pull over or like go the speed limit and figure
yeah,
it out.
exactly.
That's my rule in my opinion.
Mhm.
Now, speaking of your teammates, who's the funniest teammate you have on St. Cloud State?
I don't even know. There's so many of them. Everyone's funny. Clara Himalova, she always cracks a joke. Yanina Nyland, those four, the Europeans, just they're a different breed.
Now, speaking of style, who has the best style on the team besides yourself?
Oh, I gotta go with Taylor Lind. She always is dressing to impress.
Now, back to some hockey questions now. My first one is, your goaltending has been sensational throughout this season. Talk about the goaltending play that you've had to play under, and what's it been like for your team?
Yeah, both Sani Aloha, I don't know how to say her last name. She always makes fun of me, and Emma Paluzzi, they're just amazing. You can always trust them to make the save, and we always have to be there just to help them out too and try our best to do everything for them that they do for us.
Now, when the preseason polls came out for the WCHA, St. Cloud State was ranked one of the lower teams in the standings. How did you use that for motivation coming into this year?
Yeah, when that first came out, our team was talking about it, and we just said we have to go out and prove them wrong. And I think with the start of the season that we had, we are doing that. We're doing just that.
Now, you play in a much bigger rink than most people experience. It's obviously an Olympic ice sheet. How have you adjusted to that? And do you like it a little more playing in a bigger ice sheet because you get to have more plays and have more time with the puck?
Yeah, I love it. I love being able to have the extra space that we have, and just stretching it out gives us more of a chance to perform and do what we do.
Now, being a women's hockey player, what do you think should be done to help grow the women's hockey game?
Um, oh, that's a good one. I don't even know. There's so many things. Obviously we don't get as many fans, which I wish people would appreciate it more than they do and be able to come out and watch, or be able to want to come out and watch us. Um, I don't even know. Everyone says like not being able to hit like makes it not as fun as watching boys, which I kind of agree in that sense, but I also think it's more of a skill game then, which
Yeah.
most people don't really understand, I guess.
Yeah, I think watching it, there's obviously a difference between the men's and women's game. But I think with the women's game, you have to rely more on speed and skill, which I think can be very entertaining to some people. So I
Sure.
hope, just I think for me personally, I think it's the marketing. If you can market it better and get more viewership, then it helps grow the sport for other people.
Yep. For
Now, how's
sure.
St. Cloud State marketed in your team? I know you haven't played with any fans, or if you've only been there for a few months now, but how have they marketed the women's team compared to the men's team? And do you think they've done a good job with that?
Yeah, so all around campus, like I know for sure, like in our dorms, we have like a TV that shows us and also the men's, but we started earlier, so we were there first, and like they were displaying like pictures and like our game schedule, and that was really cool to see. There's things all over campus just showing us and showing them as well, but I thought that was really cool.
Now, going through the recruiting process, what advice would you give a younger player trying to pursue a D1 college hockey career?
Yeah, working on making yourself better along with the people around you will really catch the eye of coaching staff and recruiters. One thing, like just go with your gut when you know, and that'll really help.
Now, what should I do better as an interviewer to improve this podcast and make this platform better?
You did a great job. I don't know. I don't have any advice really.
Awesome. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you for that. Now, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to any of your teammates, family members, or anyone else before we let you go?
Shout out to the whole Husky team, Husky family.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Mackenzie. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best for this upcoming season and have a nice holiday.
Yeah, thank you for having me. You too.
Bye. Thank you so much. Do you know what your outro song to be for the podcast?
With my what?
Your outro song. So like after every interview, usually go through some of the latest news going on in college hockey, and then I have like an outro song to lead out the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You want
It's
me
all
just to pick
you.
one? All right, I'll let you know. So I'll let you know when it comes out. It should be out in like a week or two. Just with Christmas going on, there's some scheduling things I have to work out, but it should be out in a week or two. So I'll let you know though. But I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. It really
Thank
means a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, you too.